I'm sure my everydayers are noticing by now. Here on YouTube, Spencer, you've got a different setup. What's going on? I'm in Seattle for a little while for the Billy Joel concert and some Mariner games. Good times. Life is not too terrible. Mailbag questions, as always, YouTube, X, or if you want priority access and all sorts of other perks, go join the flock over at Subtext, that link in the description below, wherever you listen to or watch this show. This from, you guys are creative, or it's a random bot generated name. Gillingstoner357. I'm not saying you're a bot. I'm saying the name could be random. Gillingstoner3578. Mailbag hot take. This is steaming hot. Autzen and crowd is going to surprise the Buckeyes and be a game changer and allow the Ducks to get out to a nice lead, plus or minus 17 points, and hold the Buckeyes off from crawling back. Our O, it's just a bunch of O's, is unlike any other chant. Fans will soon come to respect Autzen. Chip knows both sides oh too well. Chip has indeed seen both sides of Autzen Stadium. He was, of course, the head coach at UCLA when they came to visit in 2022, and that was a great day for the Ducks. I think the final score was 45-30 in that one. Great day. College game day was there. UCLA was unbeaten. Oregon was rolling after that early season loss to Georgia. Dorian Thompson-Robinson was the UCLA quarterback, and Bo Nix was just better. Fact of the matter, he was just better in that particular game. I do think Oregon is going to beat Ohio State. Until I am presented evidence to the contrary, I think that Oregon being at home is the advantage they need to put them over the top. So I agree with you that the Autzen factor is big. If this game were in Columbus, I don't think I would feel as confident. However, this take is scorching hot. I mean, Frank Caliendo doing his best Mel Kiper Jr. about a piping hot cup of joe that you could spill onto your lap. Hot spill. He's going ice cold, mochaccino, or whatever it is. That's one of the greatest Mel Kiper or Frank Caliendo bits of all time. Dot. Okay, so 17-point lead on Ohio State. This would be reminiscent of the Utah game from a year ago, because going into that Utah game, I felt good. I felt good about the way Oregon was playing, and yeah, going into Utah is really hard, but they didn't have Cam Rising. They had Bryson Barnes. Oregon was a 6.5-point favorite in that game on the road in a place where Utah had not lost with fans in the stands, regardless of the opponent, since 2018. And Oregon, of course, won that game 35-6. I do not think Oregon or Ohio State's quarterback room is as strong as Oregon's. Will Howard is going to be the starter. He just hasn't been named that yet, and he's having to fight for it a little bit more than I thought he would. When he's named the starter, I'd rather have Dillon Gabriel. And I felt that way going into the quarterback transfer portal during the offseason, that Gabriel would have been a guy I would rather have than most every transfer quarterback available. There were a couple others, Cam Ward included, who I thought could have been really, really good. And I would have taken over Gabriel, but I would not have taken Will Howard over Dillon Gabriel. And I think Howard can do some solid things. He's a career low 60s percentage completion guy. And completion percentage guy, English is hard. And I think at Ohio State, he's going to have much better weapons than he had at Kansas State. He should have a very good ground game. He's got a great OC. Like, he'll be well supported, and I think he will do well. Is he able to produce the way that Gabriel is? No, I don't think so. I don't think even in that system, if this game were to turn into a shootout, that Will Howard could outduel Gabriel. Like, I watched Dillon Gabriel last year go into Dallas, and in the most unique and spectacularly awesome divided crowd in college football at the Cotton Bowl, outduel Quinn Ewers in Texas. That was a good Texas team. Really good Texas team. And Dillon Gabriel just found that bit of moxie late in the game, marched him down the field, and won it. And I don't know if Will Howard has that in him. I think he's just a slightly above average quarterback in college football. So that's part of the reason I like Oregon in this game. But the rest of the Buckeyes roster is too good for a 17-plus point lead. I would be stunned. I would be stunned if this game was decided by more than 10 points. And even if it's decided by 10 points and someone wins by double digits, I think that's a function of, had the ball late and they drove down the field and it was tight and they were just trying to run out the clock and then they had to kick a field goal, and that iced it and they got a 10-point lead with 2 minutes to go and the other team couldn't drive down the field. That's what it feels like to me in that game. And right now, I think that'll be Oregon. A 17-point lead. If Oregon amasses a 17 plus or minus point lead on Ohio State late into the game, I don't mean, you get the ball first and you go down the field, score a touchdown. Great. They go a quick 3 and out. Oregon goes down and maybe scores another touchdown, 14-0. But then by the third quarter, it's a 3-point game. Like, that's a lot different than building a lead and then not letting them climb back into it, right? Like, think the inverse of the Pac-12 championship game. Oregon trailed 20-3. I knew they were going to make a run, and they did. And they came and took the lead back, and then Washington was able to hold on. I could see that maybe playing out. I don't think Oregon will have a big enough advantage, even being home over Ohio State that has a really good team and a really good coach and a capable quarterback and a great OC and our old friend Chip. I don't think you can build a 17 plus or minus point lead. Maybe 10, maybe 13. I don't see a 17-point lead getting in there. And if Oregon does do that, like if this prediction comes true and Oregon builds a 17-point lead and really never lets Ohio State into it, and they're kneeling out the clock with a 2-possession lead to end the game, that will be one of the biggest statement wins at Autzen Stadium probably since Washington win in 2018, which was the definitive statement to the rest of the college football world. Oregon is back after a brief hiatus of falling down to the bottom of the conference. That win at Autzen, you can find other major wins since then. Ohio State 2021 in Columbus, for instance. But if you're talking at Autzen Stadium, that would be the most singularly impactful win. First year in the Big Ten, first time playing Ohio State at Autzen. I don't think they've ever traveled to Eugene. Someone can fact check me on that. They were supposed to, but they got canceled because of COVID. So that would be just a monumental sequence for Dan Lanning in the program, and the momentum would be massive there. That take is a little bit too much for me. I think if Oregon plays its best game and everything goes the way that you want it to, they can win by 10, 14 points and have a comfortable late fourth quarter situation. In all likelihood, I think this is a tight point spread for a reason, and that's that both teams are just really good. They're really good, and they're very evenly balanced. And when you put those teams in that environment, or any environment, frankly, more often than not, it's going to be a hard-fought competitive game. If you talk me into it's going to be a slugfest versus, it's going to be a shootout, I could go either way. I really could, because both teams have got some nasty players on defense. And that's one of the reasons I think it'd be hardest to pull away. If Oregon scores first, like let's say Oregon, receives the kickoff, go down the field and score a touchdown their opening drive, just like the Utah game, and then they get a stop right after and give the ball back to the offense, I think that Ohio State defense, even on the road, pins their ears back, makes a play, and gets the ball back to their offense with a stop. That's the sort of defensive unit that they have. They've got a bunch of NFL caliber dudes. Caleb Downs is a game changer on the back end of that defense, and JT Tuimoloau, Jack Sawyer, they just got dudes. They got dudes everywhere you look. So I respect the bold take, and you know what? I'm here for the boldest Oregon takes you've got, and my reacting to them here on the show. I think it's a grand old time, but that one I don't think I can get behind, not because I don't think Oregon has done enough. I just think you can't look past what Ohio State has done this offseason as well. They've been impressive. So too is Oregon. I think it's going to be one heck of a football game. And as I was talking about earlier with the non-conference slate, the biggest one on Oregon's schedule in terms of its national ramifications. You win that one, and it kind of legitimizes anything that happens in the non-conference slate, whether you struggle with Boise or struggle with Oregon State or just don't look impressive as impressive as they should in the 3 games combined overall. No matter what happens there, if you beat Ohio State, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, because that win will carry so much weight going forward. So definitely the most important game on the schedule. We're going to talk basketball and then a little bit of baseball as well. One is more optimistic than the other. Let's talk about Game Time, shall we? Because Game Time has got killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time is taking the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets. So you can save up to 60%, which last time I checked is more than half. Buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, anything that you want. They've got flash deals as well. You can save even more with exclusive in-app deals on select seats ahead of the game or event. Save even more when you choose a section and let Game Time choose the seats. All sorts of way to save. You got to go check out Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE. That's LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.